So with that, we're talking about, not, the struggle bus, not giving up, maybe changing your approach and all that stuff. But on the flip side, I do think it's equally important to know when to quit, right? I think that is equally important, when to quit. And we don't quit when it's hard. We don't quit just because it's hard. We quit because it sucks.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
We just think it fucking sucks. This is not what I thought it was going to be. It doesn't make me happy like I thought it was going to. This is not what I want to do. It sucks. That is when you quit, change direction, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where your story comes in, Olivia, because you were in college.
Yeah.
And you were going for finance,
yep.
Right? And you were already 2 years into finance.
Yep.
And were you happy?
I was the first year, but then the second year I just realized that wasn't for me. I just wasn't happy anymore.
No, doing finance?
Mm-mm.
What was it? I'm just curious. What was it about finance that you didn't like?
I think it was just like one night I was studying for an exam and I realized how much it sucked. And I was like, is this really what I want to do for the rest of my life?
Yeah. And it wasn't.
It wasn't.
So it was hard. So, but you're 2 years in
to
studying for finance.
Yeah.
So once you're already 2 years in, so when you do you feel like, oh my God, that's 2 years wasted? Is that how you felt at first?
I did.
Yeah.
But once I finished and I changed directions, it was what I needed to do.
Is exactly what you need to do. And then you changed your major over to
marketing.
Yeah. And now you're here.
Yeah.
With Willow.
Yep.
And me.
Yeah.
Lucky you. Yeah, I think it's important to know, to also have that realization, because there is the flip side to, powering through the struggle, not quitting, not giving up, go for it, and all that stuff. There is a flip side to that. And even in PMU is not for everyone. It is not for everyone. And it's up to the individual to recognize that or not.
Yeah.
And when you do realize that, PMU is not for you, or, like a major, in college, or a particular career, or even a partner, for Pete's sake, a relationship. When something is not making you happy, giving you what you need, or anything like that, it's important to recognize quickly this isn't for you, and to change direction and make a change. And not a lot of people can do that. They stay. They
scary.
Stay. Yeah, because it's scary to change, and it's hard to change. And I totally get, like, if if you've already got, like with PMU, look, if I watch Shark Tank, and quite often you'll see like these entrepreneurs up there, and they're into like their company or their product, like they've spent $150,000 of their own money, or $100,000 of their own money, and they just keep throwing money at it, and they're 5-6 years in, and they're not getting the sales, like Mark Cuban, Mr. Wonderful, those two, they're really good at, tell them, like, look, this is insanity. You have to know when to quit, when you're just throwing money, at something, and it's not growing, you're not getting sales, you're not, and I think as individuals, listening to this, whether you're a PMU artist, an esthetician, or, you're in college, or, whatever career, only we know. We know what the amount of money and effort and time we've put into something in order to make that work. And only you know whether this is right and this is for you, or turns out this is not for me, and changing direction. So yeah, that's it. That's that. For me, I knew right away that PMU was for me. I just did. I fell in love with it. I've been talking before. I was in a dark place in my life and found PMU, and it was something that, I had some skill at it. I wasn't good, but I had some raw talent. I knew I could be good at it if I applied myself, and I struggled like crazy. And I never once thought about giving up. I did look into lash enhancements and lash extensions and some other things as well. Waxing. Then I thought, I'll build a waxing clientele and do threading, so my mind did go there to try to get me through the lean times. But I just stuck it out. I got creative with getting clients in the door and stuck it out. And here I am today. So yeah, so you just got to stick it out. Some things that I did to get some clients early on is it's old school. It's considered old school stuff today. I think today, even with some of the interviews that we did for the apprentice, the artist spot we have here today, talk about Instagram. Their Instagram ads ain't working. They're not getting anybody off Instagram. I think today, too many people are relying on social media to grow their clientele. And not that social media is not a really important component in building your clientele and reaching people, because it is, but it's not the only avenue to build a clientele. And what I did years and years ago, and did for many, 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 many years, is Kat would bake cookies. She would bake cookies, and we would hit the pavement on like a Thursday, or Friday, and we would go to salons, offices, business offices, doctor offices, anywhere that I thought there could be a female clientele, female business. And we would go in there and we would introduce ourselves. We would bring cookies. And when you walk into a business with cookies, right, it's like instantly, that puts a smile on people's face. The guard comes down a little bit. They're more apt to have a conversation with you. And if you can get in front of someone who can potentially refer you clients, if you can get in front of that person and they can hear your voice, they can see you, feel your vibe, your energy, your passion, and get a sense of who you are, I think that is way more powerful than in any Instagram ad.
Yep.
I really do. And I love people. I think people get a sense of warmth around me and that I'm friendly. And, and when I speak about PMU, even back then, they got a sense that I knew what I was doing. I knew my stuff, that I was warm, that I was friendly and whatnot. And we can cross-refer back. We can cross-refer back too, especially, if you get a few hairdressers referring you, you get some dentist offices referring you, some plastic surgeons, some dermatologists, some laser, things like that. So I think it's important. And for some reason, a lot of people just don't want to do that today. They don't want to get in their cars, hit the pavement, and walk into businesses and introduce themselves and deliver cookies. You can even put together a little discount coupon. Maybe they get $50 off or something. it works. It really, really works. So if all you're doing is, Instagram and social media, then, give that a try. Just get online and find, start with like 5 businesses, like, within like maybe, a 4 mile radius of your studio. Pick out 5 businesses. If you don't know how to bake, go to the grocery store, get some cookies, and or just like a pastry, something, with a cute little discount card, maybe a little flyer with a picture of yourself, a little bio about yourself, and go in and introduce yourself and see if you can get a conversation with the office manager or someone who does the booking, or if it's a salon, a hairdresser, things like that. There are here in Vegas, we actually have gentlemen clubs, so we have exotic dances. We have a lot of them all over town, and I went in there like crazy. I did. And I would go back to the locker rooms, and I learned a lot about gentlemen clubs, because Kat and I would go in there because, oh my God, they're loaded with women that want to look their best and want to look pretty, right? And dancing, exotic dancing, they want their makeup to stay on and always look good. Well, hello, like, I can do that for you. And so we would walk in, and I remember one time I walked in, and the dude at the door was just like, yeah, I just wanted to, I do permanent makeup. He's like, what? Go talk to the DJ. So I go talk to the DJ, and the DJ was like, well, let me go get the locker room mom. That's what he said, the locker room mom. And so this lady came out, and she was like an older lady. She looked like she was about, 60 or 70 years old. And she came out, and I just told her where I was, and she was like, oh, well, come on back. And so gentlemen clubs here in Vegas come to learn, because I went in 7 or 8 of them, over the years, and would revisit them, just to say hi to the mom, to the locker mom. But they all have what they call locker moms, and they call her mom. And so what the locker moms do is they like bake big sheets of like lasagna, or they bring in dinner.
Oh, that's
Yes.
cool.
And they're kind of nurturers. They make sure all the exotic dancers, because those are long shifts, 6-8 hour shifts. If they're making money, I'm sure they might even be longer shifts. But what the locker moms do is they kind of nurture the dancers. Like, they make sure that there's, homemade cooked food. They have sewing kits. She sews. So like, if they're G-strings, pop a thread or something like that. They sew. They can fix their outfits. It was interesting going back into the locker room and meeting the exotic dancers, in several different clubs, and seeing how it works. And it wasn't what I thought it was. I was really super scared to go into a gentleman's club. Didn't know what to expect. And I thought it was going to be something different than what it was. Yeah. On the floor, of course, it's exotic dancing. So it's a sexual environment with the music, the dancing, the men, the women. But when you turn the corner and you went into the locker room, it was a completely different energy and vibe. It felt very, I don't know if family's quite the word, but it felt very like, I don't know, just having that mom there, and seeing what she did for all the girls, and the way the girls called her mom, and the way the girls interacted. It was really, I wasn't expecting that. And it was really, really different. So, here in Vegas, we've got people listening to podcasts that are here in Vegas struggling. I think there's gentlemen clubs in lots of different areas of, the world. And, that is one place that you could go visit and introduce yourself. And I have a lot of cocktail waitress and exotic dancers as clients, here at the Girlz Inc. studio. And then of course we do nurses. Nurses are another one. They work long shifts, especially ER nurses, charge nurses. They work long shifts. And, that might be a great avenue, is trying to, break into networking with nurses. There's, mummy groups, networking groups. You just have to be creative. You got to be creative, and don't put your egg all in one basket when you're trying to build your clientele. You really have to be creative. Take a look. What's in your city? Where are women gathering? There's women golf leagues. There's walkers where women get together and they all walk. There's mall walkers, right? I know in every city there are groups of women gathering to knit, to golf, to walk, to, mummy groups. There's just lots of things going on in different cities. And so, take a day and look around what's going on in your city. What are the women doing in your city? And then figure out a way to approach them and offer them, discounts and whatnot. And then, of course, stay on top of your social media. I'm in no way suggesting that you do not nurture your social media, because you have to. I mean, you just have to. But it's the combination of all of it that I think can work really, really well and build your book faster. And Facebook ads. You can do your own Facebook ad for as little as $5 a day. Am I wrong, you guys?
You're not wrong.
I'm
you could
not
even
wrong,
do less
right?
if you wanted to.
Huh?
You could do less.
You could do less than $5 a day?
Yeah.
Right? So, and you just gotta, and I think Facebook makes it really, I think some people think, oh my gosh, if I'm gonna do Facebook ads, I gotta hire somebody to come do these ads for me. They can be super expensive. And that's not true. I think Facebook now makes it kind of easy because they give you options, right? Like your demographic, gender, age group. And
location.
Then location, like how many mile radius of your studio. And you can just go in and click all these buttons to refine the ad to kind of reflect your location and what you're trying to attract. And, like Olivia said, $2-3 a day, run it for a week, see what you get. If you don't get anything, it doesn't mean you don't do it again and you don't keep trying, because we do Facebook ads in here and they are hit and miss. Not every Facebook ad is going to bring you a client. So you'll run a Facebook ad and maybe you didn't get much engagement on it. You didn't get much, action with it. And then your next Facebook ad, you'll get lots of engagement, but you didn't necessarily book anything. And then your next Facebook ad, you got moderate engagement, but you actually booked 3 clients. So I do think if you're going to do Facebook ads, it's not try it once and then you stop. It's you got to play with the options Facebook gets you. You got to play with how you write up your ad. If you run a couple of ads, it's not working, change how you the write up on it, correct? Mm-hmm. Like the verbiage and how you wrote up your little paragraph.
The pictures also.
The pictures also. Anything else you guys I'm forgetting?
I don't think so.
Pictures, their paragraph, their little marketing paragraph, the options. You just got to play with it and find what works. And then that can work for a while, and then that can stop working.
Yeah.
And then you got to change it again. So, and that's like Instagram. Instagram algorithm is it's just all fucked up right now, you guys. It's just like crazy.
It's always changing.
It's always changing, and it's hard to keep up. We are constantly changing up our Instagram strategies. Yep. Trying to stay on people's feeds, show up in people's feeds, and make the algorithm happy. But it's just an ongoing battle. It really, really is. So I think that was a really good podcast. How long have we been going, Olivia? Usually
an hour and 10 minutes.
I always try to make you were like, oh yeah, you can just do a 30-minute one. I can never stop talking. I know. And sometimes I think I ramble, but I think this was a good one.
Yeah.
I really, really do. So I want to thank the gal that sent me that lengthy DM on Instagram, and I'm humble that you trusted me. You sent me a message like that because that was being vulnerable. You talked a lot about yourself and what you're going through, and you trusted me with that information. And I hope I did right by you. I hope I took that trust and did right by you. And I'm actually looking forward to your update. Maybe one day we'll have you on the podcast. Maybe one day we'll reveal who you are. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I would actually love to have her on here. Maybe we could set up a Zoom, right? Because she's not in the state, but you know who you are. And I know she's going to hear this. And yeah, I want to say her name so bad, but I'm not going to. So
I love the way you said that, reveal.
We'll save that for the reveal. But yeah, I mean, I think it would be great to have her on here, and talk about her struggle and then reaching out to me. And because I imagine it was a little scary reaching out to me, right? Yeah. And I think she even said that in her voicemail, after I had responded. She didn't expect to get a response from me. And so, yeah, I think it's good. So maybe we'll have her on here. That would be like full circle. That would be great.
Yeah,
that'd be full circle. All right, you guys. So thank you for joining us today. And remember, just always, always, always stay in the pursuit of happiness. And we will see you next time on A Tatter-a-fact.